This is the sixth and final video on the 4 dimensions of legal expertise from which we get the KUJI acronym, namely knowledge, understanding, judgment, and intuition. This video follows on directly from the Part A video on intuition, which is video number 5. Here I'll explain how evidence of intuition can be used to measure the cognitive development of legal specialists. The core attributes of intuitive thinking, or System 1 thinking in Daniel Kahneman's Thinking Fast and Slow sense, are its speed, ease of engagement, the way it links together relevant information in parallel, its introspective, that is implicit or hidden nature, and its often emotional character. But such thinking alone may not be indicative of legal expertise. The ability to impose tight quality control on the output of intuitive thinking is critical, as is the competence to proceed based on mere feelings or a nebulous sense of how things are likely to play out. Intuitive responses without the full engagement of knowledge, understanding, and judgment, which is System 2 self-monitoring, will invariably be suboptimal. In 2013, I developed a twofold test for this element of specialist legal expertise in a laboratory setting. First, I selected case studies and problem-solving tasks that were most likely to induce an intuitive response. This involved knowing the precise area of law and restricting available information, which demanded augmentation and prompted guessing, which is the poor imitation of intuition. When these kinds of tests function properly, it's possible to assess the speed of an individual's thinking, how easily they engage with the subject matter of the set task, and the degrees to which thought processes are occurring all at once. Evidence of emotional content can also be recorded, which is sometimes revealed in a sense of either excitement or frustration. Second, I needed to test for the opposite of intuitive thinking, which is analytical reasoning. Now, analytical reasoning in the self-monitoring sense is critically important for good lawyering. But if we detect it in the issue identification phase of the problem-solving process, which is where we expect to see intuitive thinking manifested, that can be a sign that expertise is lacking when combined with other factors. Ultimately, intuition involves pattern recognition. When a lawyer has amassed and recorded in their long-term memories lots of previous cases and has an efficient indexing of that information in their mental schema, they can quickly spot patterns and scenarios similar and dissimilar to what they know. This allows them to intuitively, that is instantly, sense the shape or nature of the case, and in some instances, its likely outcome. It can be as if the whole roadmap suddenly opens up in their mind's eye. Given the nature of intuitive responses, we can detect within them all the other elements of specialist legal expertise. That is, the effective activation of knowledge, understanding, and judgment. This is because intuition depends on a lawyer possessing specialist legal and non-legal knowledge, a full understanding of the issues and client needs, and an ability to know when the right answer has been formulated. For some exceptionally capable lawyers, intuition is an everyday phenomenon that they have learned to engage consistently with excellent results, because their judgment is also of a high standard. These are the legal specialists who are capable of transcending ordinary reasoning, and who are often described by clients and colleagues alike as being simply brilliant and sometimes from another planet, because of the uncanny speed, accuracy, and effectiveness of their ideas and solutions. On the other hand, the unskilled use of intuition is often a sure sign of a lack of expertise. First, because the intuitive responses themselves are of poor quality. Indeed, some lawyers come up with instant answers to legal questions that can be embarrassingly wrong or mistaken, which leads to the second problem of these lawyers not realizing that their ideas are flawed, because they do not possess the expert's self-monitoring abilities. Whereas a high-level expert will rarely, if ever, verbalize a poorly thought-through response, less capable lawyers will sometimes be quite oblivious to their mistaken assumptions, opinions, and recommendations. Lastly, correct intuitive insights are of little value if they are not embraced with confidence. Indeed, arguably more important than the insight itself is the ability to not talk oneself out of relying on it. You'll recall from the previous video how the fireman acted immediately on his intuitive response to a sensation in his feet and ordered everyone out of the building just before it collapsed. One of the most intriguing findings of my doctorate was analysing how two different legal specialists responded to their own intuitive insights. The lab test I designed successfully invoked an intuitive response from two legal specialists who both immediately saw the correct or highest quality answer to the legal issue that I had presented to them. The first specialist took around 1 minute to come up with their inspired solution, but then they spent 17 minutes talking themselves out of it, ending up with legal advice which was objectively wrong. The second specialist, on the other hand, took just 30 seconds to come up with the same initial insight, yet they were steadfast in sticking to it. After 2 minutes of self-monitoring, they confirmed that they were right and could not be persuaded otherwise. Simply having a high-quality intuitive insight when dealing with a complex legal issue is not enough. Many lawyers can have this, particularly those who have well-developed knowledge, understanding and judgment. But only the very best trust their instincts enough to follow through on them, which might involve relying on little more than an emotional feeling rather than a logical sequence of ideas. This confidence in one's own intuition is something that develops over time and only after years of learning how to rely on a phenomenon that even the lawyer themselves may not fully understand or be able to explain. It is, in a sense, a step of faith based on the time-tested confidence in one's own intuitive abilities. That's the final intuition dimension of the KUJI analytical approach. This series of videos has obviously just been a brief introduction to the 4 cognitive dimensions we focus on when assessing the expertise of lawyers. But hopefully it has given you a clearer idea of what our assessments involve and what KUJI actually means. If you'd like to learn more about what we do at Meisterline and about the KUJI rating scale, we've created even more videos covering the origins, mechanics and applications of KUJI ratings and our other professional expertise metrics. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to like and subscribe and connect with us on LinkedIn and on our website at meisterline.com. Thanks for watching.